Let's cut the BS. Hiring sucks, but it's quite literally the most important component of the cleaning business. So in this video, I'm gonna explain to you the exact process I use to hire cleaners. I've done this over 1,500 times by helping over 1,500 people start their cleaning business and have hired over tens of thousands of cleaners. So I know a thing or two about hiring cleaners. So at the very least, I can make it suck a little less. And I'm also gonna go through the whole process from sourcing the cleaners, interviewing them, onboarding them, and actually getting them to go do a clean. And I'll also show you how to keep them so you don't have to constantly be worrying about your cleaners leaving. And if you stay to the end, I actually have some cool freebies to make this whole process actually really freaking easy for you. So let's get into it. Okay, number one, where do we start? How do we actually source our leads? Think about this as a sales process. Where do we get our leads from? There's a few different places we can get our leads. The first one I'm gonna cover is Indeed because it's the lowest hanging fruit. I'm gonna cover another one where you go direct to the cleaners and you're doing outreach. Why I like Indeed is because the cleaners come to you and they're vetting themselves out and they're selling themselves to you. Whereas when you do outreach, which I'll still show you how to do it and it still works, you have to sell yourself to the cleaners. So it flips the frame when you hire through job platforms like Indeed. What I've went ahead and done is provided a free template for you guys in the description below of the exact job postings we use to source these cleaners. Now tailor it to your location and tailor it to your company name, that kind of stuff. But you can use that for free to post onto Indeed. On Indeed, you're gonna get a lot of applications. When you're getting these applications, know that a lot of these cleaners will suck. Some things to look out for when you're screening through these applicants are 1 year of experience, which you can actually make a requirement to apply to your job, reliable transportation, which you can also make a requirement, and they have their own cleaning supplies, which you can also make a requirement. So you can have that all required on your job posting so that people that don't have that are automatically vetted out. So once they pass that preliminary phase, I wanna book the people that pass that 3-prong test onto some type of video call, whether it be Zoom or Google Meets. I'm a Google Meets guy myself, but if you like Zoom, no hate. Book them onto a call and ask them about logistics. How much work can you take? How much experience do you have? Who have you worked for in the past? How much do you wanna make? How much do you need to make is a good question I like to ask them. Do they want part-time or full-time? You're just gonna be asking logistical questions. Once they seem like a good fit, make them an offer and send them to a test clean. Now, I'll explain what a test clean is later, but that is Indeed. This is how you source people from Indeed. Pros of Indeed are they come to you, you hold the frame because they have to sell themselves to you. Con of Indeed is that you have to sift through a lot of crap to find the good stuff. So just know if you're gonna use Indeed, a lot of your cleaners will suck and it takes some grueling work to be able to find the ones that are good, but it's worth it because a cleaner is worth 5 to 10K a month for you. Number 2 is gonna be direct outreach. Direct outreach is going directly to the cleaning contractors that you find in places like local Facebook groups, next door groups by making posts like, I'm looking for a house cleaner, any recommendations? This is how you find the 1 to 2 person teams. The 1 to 2 person teams are gonna be the ideal ones for you because if you start reaching out to, say, your local Molly maid, well, they've got advertising budgets and they've got staff and this and that. They're not never gonna go for a 60-40 or 50-50 split as a contractor. They're just not gonna do it. The margins aren't there, it won't make sense. But for these 1 to 2 person teams who just wanna show up and do the cleaning and make $25 to $35 an hour, those are your ideal clients. And you're gonna go on these Facebook groups and these local next door groups and you're gonna do outreach. You're gonna call them and say, hey, could you handle an extra 2 to 3 cleans a week? Of course they're gonna say yeah because it's a crazy offer. Okay, awesome. Well, look, my name is blah, blah, blah cleaning company and we hire contractors. On average, our contractors make anywhere from $25 to $35 an hour. Is that something that's in line with what you get paid? Some are gonna say no, some are gonna say yes. On the ones that are gonna say yes, you wanna make this very low friction as possible because you're selling them, right? They don't know you, they're gonna be skeptical, you're a brand new business, especially if you don't have reviews. They're gonna think this is some type of scam. So you're gonna say, gotcha, well, I have a clean available in a couple days that you can go to. It's $300. Now this clean that you're telling them that you have is just a friend or a family member because remember I mentioned the word test clean? You're gonna offer a free clean to this friend or family member. To the cleaner that you're trying to hire and sell, it's gonna be a real clean, but to you, you're testing to see, number 1, if they show up, number 2, do they do a good job, and number 3, are they gonna try to take your customers? Because you're setting the expectation, hey, you are a contractor, you want your friend or family member to ask this cleaner how they can book again, because this will tell you if they're gonna try to steal your customer or not, and say, here, book through me, or they're gonna say, here, call Johnny at the office, book through him. If they say, here, book through me, I'll do it for cheaper, fire them, they're not a good fit, and yeah, maybe you lose $100, $150, but you saved yourself so much extra money in the long run by sending this person to real customers' homes. Number 3, there's a third way to find cleaners, which is my favorite. Once you start to build up your cleaning team, well, once you have a good cleaning team that you're like, hey, I'm confident in them, they show up, they do a great job, well, good people in the industry know other good people in their industry because when people are good at something, they like to usually hang around people who are good at that thing. So what we find to work really well across all of our 1,500 plus locations is asking your cleaners for referrals of other good cleaners. Hey, do you know any other good cleaners that could use the work? 9 times out of 10, they're gonna say yes. And because they don't wanna look bad because they're putting their name on you, 9 times out of 10, that person that they refer you is gonna be actually really solid. So it's a really sleeper way to get more cleaners once you've got your cleaning team built up and they trust you and you're sending them jobs and they've done a lot of work for you. So ask your cleaners for referrals. I promise you at least one of them will probably have a good cleaner that you never knew was out there. So that wraps up the 3 ways we can actually source cleaners. And I briefly touched on how to actually interview and what interview questions you should be asking cleaners. I touched on a few, but what I'm gonna go ahead and do for you guys just to make this very easy is I'll include a free template down below of my favorite questions I like to ask cleaners to show whether or not they're good fits and how I use it. So that template will be in the link in the description down below. But once you make these offers and you get to onboarding, you're gonna wanna make sure they sign the contract. And I'm not sure if I said this already, but I'll include that in the description below too. I'm trying to make this process as simple and frictionless as possible because I know how hard hiring can be. So I'll give you the job posting template, I'll give you the interview questions, and I'll give you the onboarding procedures document, which includes the contract that basically tells the cleaner, this is what your payouts will be, this is when you will be paid. And on top of that, it will say in there, if they try to steal your customer, we will sue you. Now, will you actually ever sue them? No, you won't ever sue them, but that'll be in there as well. I'll include that in a little package down below so that your onboarding process and everything there is completely covered for you. Now, how do you actually retain these cleaners and not have to deal with, oh, I had a cleaner for 3 months, they left. I had a cleaner for 3 months, they left. Now, number one is you always want to be recruiting no matter what in the case that cleaners want to come back to you and say, I want more money, or they start giving you problems, or they decide one day they're just not going to show up or they're going to quit or their work is going to suck. Because if you have a bunch of solid cleaners you can pull on, that will never be a worry in your mind. And you never want to feel like someone has leverage over you in your own business, because cleaners will start to think that you need them when the reality is you don't, because you just got to go hire more. So how do you actually retain cleaners and prevent this stuff from happening? Well, you want to be very clear with your expectations and know that, hey, you're going to make $25 to $35 an hour every job. If it falls under that, I'll make sure you get that $25 an hour floor. Not only that, but I'm a big fan of take your cleaners out to lunch. I mean, I even do this with my employees. Like if they're in town in Vegas or we get together for an offsite, I'll take them to a nice dinner, I'll get lunch with them, I'll buy them lunch, whatever it is. Go make it a point every week to go get lunch with your cleaners and show face, if you can. If you're running your business outside of where you live, like say you live in Texas, you're running your business in California, well, call them out of the blue and ask them how they're doing. Nothing work-wise, this is all personal because it adds that human layer of connection, and you'll be surprised how well this works with people that work for you, because it shows that you actually care. And believe it or not, most bosses don't. I'm sure a lot of you watching this work for a business where they could give a single shit about you and they never care about asking how you're doing. Make it a point to call your cleaners, ask them how they're doing. I promise it works wonders. Now with contractors, it's very tricky to incentivize behaviors. You can't really do that. So it's tough to throw in things like, oh, you get bonuses and this and that. You cannot do that with contractors. It's actually illegal, or else I would give you a ton of sauce on how to retain your cleaners using different bonuses and stuff. But the best piece of advice I could give is take them out to lunch, give them a call, check on them, see how they're doing. Give your best cleaners the best jobs too. The best cleaners who are showing up, they're getting jobs done quickly, they're getting glowing reviews. Give them the best jobs, give them priority, let them know that they have priority because they do such a good job. This all makes them feel really good. Another kind of ninja thing you can do too to advertise your company is, let's say you want to start your cleaner at 40%, you can actually pay them an advertising fee to wear your company's branded clothes. It's what Uber does, it's what Amazon does, and you can pay them an extra, say 5%, 2.5% just for throwing on your shirt. So not that that helps with retention, but just a cool little ninja move you can do. Check out the care package I put together for you on this whole process down below. And if you're someone who is struggling with hiring, or you're like, hey, this remote cleaning thing sounds cool, check out Home Service Academy in the link down below. I have a free 42-minute training with an option to book a call with our team. The book a call is free. And if you're someone who's serious about starting one of these businesses and you want your hand held, I'm not the guy to give you a bunch of videos and tell you good luck, I hope you get success. No, our coaches have KPIs on student success levels. We have the best student success in the whole online education, the guru space. I take a lot of pride in that. So if you're somebody who really wants a business in a box, a low-cost alternative to a franchise, then see what it's like to work with our team. It's free. At the very least, you can get off that call, say you don't want to do it. My feelings won't be hurt. The team's feelings won't be hurt. And if you want some more free value on the channel and you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you like this, hit the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.